We had significant floods. It wasn't just one, it was a number of cells that had come through at different hours of the days over the weekend. And as a result, it was dumping large amounts of water in very short periods of time. And as a result, we could almost forecast within a half hour or so that the water was going to be then coming down off the Louisville fan and flooding out various sections of the valley. Mr. O'Brien was instrumental for us because he's, I believe, a certified weather watcher. And so he was giving regular reports on when these cells were approaching the valley, which was really helped us out because we could kind of place our resources in those areas and be best prepared. But on at least 2 to 3 occasions, we had crews that were roving in town because as we had a subsequent power outage, our radios were down. So a lot of it was by observation, cell phone contacts, and again, just being highly visible. So if the community members did have an issue, they could flag down one of the apparatus that were operating in the area.
How did the power outage affect you guys? Did it affect you?
Yeah, obviously it did. We had to open our bay doors. We didn't have, again, the radios were down, and so those folks from Nye County came in, and the IT folks, and they came in and were able to reestablish those communications in a timely fashion. It took a little longer for all the power to be restored, but again, they did a great job, kept us well informed.
We've had meetings on emergency planning with all of the responders before on how to handle situations like this.
You know, it's not as if it wasn't forecasted. I mean, it had been in the weather for several days on both the local and the Las Vegas Valley weather channels. We had emergency alerts. If you have your iPhones, activate that section on there so you can get emergency notifications, including Amber Alerts, weather forecasts, things like that. So again, you can be best prepared. Most of the medical emergencies that we were responding to was the inoperability of the oxygen producing machines. And so they were worried because they may not have had the necessary backup supplies of just the bottles. And so we would check on from a respiratory standpoint. Some folks simply fell, a number of fall victims, and things related to the weather.
In the past, you have put emergency vehicles at major intersections so that people can contact you.
Yeah, that was as much of an effort. It was part of the emergency management program when we had a greater outage of our communication equipment. But again, there's limitations on that because if something happens at their house, they're unable to get to those locations. So roving patrols have helped us. But again, the key is if you know something's happening in the valley and you know someone's an invalid or needs assistance on a regular basis or is on O2, check on them, make sure that they're okay. And if you can't get a hold of them by a cell phone or anything along those lines, go over and make a visit.